Hola, hola, hola a todos. Es tu prima favorita, Bobby here, and I just like to talk. I'm just coming with a quick, what I think is gonna be a pretty quick video, but I'm not really sure. But it's more so of like a reflection. So I posted a video earlier to my TikTok. If you don't follow me on TikTok, go follow me on TikTok at Bob's the Builder. Everything is at Bob's the Builder. But I basically posted on there, I was like, does anyone else ever sit and kind of reflect on how old you are at this time and what you're currently doing with your life compared to where your parents were at this time when they were your age? And I was just basically talking about how, like, my mom at my age right now had 4 kids already. She was already doing the mom things, being responsible and struggling also. Just need to add that in there as a single parent. And yeah, I just basically was just asking about if anyone else sits and thinks about, you know, where your parents were at your age and where you are at your age. And I got, you know, kind of like mixed responses, I guess, or whatever. But one thing that kind of spoke to me was people saying that, you know, like I made bad choices, like, or like my parents were so much further along. They were married and had a house and like all of this stuff. And it kind of led me into a reflection of like, did you make bad choices or did you make different choices, right? And I mean, it's up to you as a person to define what is good, what is bad, what is success, what is not success, where you feel like you should be, where you actually are, and what that means to you. It's not up to me to make that decision for you. It's up to you fully. But I also want to encourage people to kind of think about, are you thinking that way because of what you have been told to think, or what you have been trained to think is this is what success means, and this is where you're supposed to be when you're 20, this is where you're supposed to be when you're 25, this is where you're supposed to be when you're 30, this is where you're supposed to be when you're 35, and so on and so forth? Or is it really what you yourself value as a person? And so I know that a lot in society, and I feel like there's a huge change for this, but I still feel like there's a big push on society of where you should be at every stage in your life and at every age in your life. And I've always been a person to just wholeheartedly believe that success is the way that you define it. Success means to you what you define it to mean, because to me success could look like something completely different than what you think. To one person, success could be like settling down and having kids and being able to provide a lifestyle for them and, you know, put them through school and be mom or be dad or whatever the case may be. And success to me or success to another person can look like, you know, furthering in your career, creating a space for, you know, the community that you serve, being rich, you know, whatever, all these different things. So we have different views of success and what that means to us. So when people were commenting or saying like, oh, I made bad choices because I'm here as a single adult, like figuring out stuff on my own, where my parents were married and had 5 kids and a 2-car garage and all of this. And it's just kind of like, well, is that your definition of success? Is that where you were told that you needed to be at the age that you are now, or is that where you want it to be at the age that you are now? And it really just makes me think, like, my stance towards myself doesn't change. I feel like I learned a lot from observing other people, right? I've always been a very observant person, and I might not always speak on what I see. I might not always comment on what I see. I might not always engage in conversation about what I see, but I'm always seeing. And one thing that I do really value about myself is that it only took me seeing what other people were going through and seeing how people around me were basically having to face the consequences of their actions, good or bad, for me to learn, oh, that's not the way that I want to go about, you know, living my life, or oh, that's something that I should take into consideration when I'm going through this life. And I feel like a lot of times we might not realize how tied we are to the things that we were taught. We might not realize how tied we are to, this is where you're supposed to be at 30 years old. This is where you're supposed to have at this age. This is what you're supposed to be working on. And if you don't, you're a failure. And a lot of us still stick to those things unknowingly because they've been so ingrained and embedded into us and into our systems, not realizing that, well, is that really what I want? And I feel like for me, I can't say that, you know, I went through my whole life like going against the grain, because that's simply not true. But there were a lot of aspects in my life where I got to a certain point where I realized, well, this is what I was told, that this is how it's supposed to be, and this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and this is what it's supposed to look like. But that's not necessarily what it is that I want. So for me, once I understood that, it was really important for me to define success for myself in the way that I saw it, and to really not care what other people were saying about it, right? To not really give in to what people were saying it should look like or where I should be at, because the moment you start doing that, you lose yourself. The moment you start doing that, you no longer belong to yourself, and your success is no longer for you. It's for all the people who have told you this is what it's supposed to look like. And so you're essentially doing it for them, and you'll never find joy in that. And I know it might seem like I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent here, but I say that to say that there is no right way to life, right? I've strongly held on to that. There is no guideline for life, because there is no correct way to live. There are some wrong ways to live. I'll give you that. We can go into that in another video for another time. But there is no straight and narrow path. These are the things that you should follow to live a perfect life, because there's no such thing. And there's no such thing because as human beings, as people, as creatures, we're always evolving. We're always learning more. We are always taking in different information, and we're changing as we grow old. And you know, some of us, we might be set in our ways, but there are things within your DNA, within your mindset, within the way that you think and the way that you see things, that are always changing and that are always shifting. So what you wanted 2 years ago, what you wanted 5 years ago, what you wanted 2 months ago might not be the same for what you want for yourself 5 years from now, or even 2 days from now. And that's okay. And I don't know, I just felt the need to just kind of come on and just put that into words, because I hate to hear people say that I did it wrong and I didn't succeed. And if that's what you truly believe because of the way that you define success and where you should be, that's one thing. But if you're basing it strictly off of the opinions of other people, whether it be your parents, whether it be your friends, your teachers, your guardians, your professors, those around you, your mentors, whatever, it is up to you to define what success means to you, what it means to you to be in the part of your life where you are succeeding, where you're getting everything that you want. And that for me, like when I look at where my mom was when she was my age compared to where I am at my age, I wouldn't switch it for the world. And my mom wouldn't have me switch it for the world. She was pretty transparent with me once I got older about how much she actually struggled, even though she made it look like, I don't want to say she made it look easy, because I don't think that would be the truth, but she made it look doable, manageable. But I also saw from that that's not something that I wanted to subscribe to. That's not something that I wanted to. I didn't want to meet up to that challenge. I didn't want to be that strong woman taking care of 4 kids and doing it all on her own. I didn't want to be that. And later on in life, when she actually shared with me the things that she faced and the struggles that she had and how deep they actually were, I'm so glad that I never held on to, I'm gonna be like that. I'm gonna, and there are attributes that of course I take away from my mom that I'm like, I value her for those things and I appreciate her for those things, and I want to be more like her in certain ways. And then there's other ways where I'm like, you can keep it. You can keep it. No lo necesito. I don't need that. But that's nothing against her, but that's me thinking as to what I view for myself, for my future, for the woman that I am becoming, the woman that I aspire to be, and the life that I aspire to have. And so I just say that to say that I want people to really think about, who are you making these decisions for in your life? What are you basing these things off of? When you say that you made wrong choices, when you say that you are behind, when you say that you're not as far along as you should be, is it because of yourself, of your thoughts, of where you see yourself? Or is it because of the things that you have been told, the things that have been hammered into your head and hammered into your mind of where you should be and how your life should be? And I really want people to take a step back from all the buzz around us. I know it's hard. Life continues to just move at such a speedy pace. Time is flying by faster than ever. But still, this life is yours to live, and it's yours to make what you want out of it. And when you really understand that and really discover that for yourself, I promise you life is so much more fulfilling. Take it from a person who felt like they had to be so perfect and such this picture perfect, picturesque person for so long, and then coming into self and realizing I'm not doing nothing for nobody else. Everything that I do is for me. Yes, I serve different communities. Yes, I serve in different spaces, and I'm a part of different things, and I bring things to those spaces, and I love that. But ultimately, these things also feed back into my soul, where I see myself, how I want to move, how I want to and choose to present myself and maneuver through this life, and what it is that I desire to have. And that stands at the forefront of everything I do and every decision that I make. Because I promise, when you start thinking from that realm, when you start thinking from that mindset, life will not only become more fulfilling for you because you are choosing to do the things that fulfill you, but you're also going to see yourself show up as this person that you only imagined yourself to be. So I just say, think about what it is that you really want out of this life. Think about the choices that you have made and the choices that you are making now and the person that you want to be. Get on the track to that. Forget what everybody else is telling you that you need to be doing or that you should be doing, and focus on what it is that you truly believe true and valuable to yourself. That's all I got to say about that. I would love to hear your opinions down in the comment sections, your feedback. Let's have a discussion on this. What does success mean to you? How can we motivate each other? Let's keep this discussion going. Again, this is tu prima favorita, Bobby here. I just like to talk, and that's exactly what I'm doing. But thank you for joining me today in the Cousins Corner. Please like, share, and subscribe. Drop your comments below, and I will see you on the next video next time. Bye.